السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Today, inshallah, I will start a new preparatory course for subspecialty examination and European board. At the start, I would like to mention about how to study for subspecialty examination in endocrinology and diabetes and also the European board. Let's start. This is a part from my preparatory course, inshallah, for 1 year, one session every week, inshallah. And at the same time, I will provide all material that you require for the exam. At the beginning, specialty certificate examination in endocrinology and diabetes mellitus will be held. This is a specialty certificate examination related to the MRCP UK, and this is the official website for SCE in endocrinology and diabetes. If we go to it online, this is the official website. You can know a lot of data about this SCE in endocrinology and diabetes from this official website. Go to the examination, then specialty certificate examination, click on it, and you can go to this specialty and then endocrinology and diabetes, and you will know a lot of data related to this certificate. The next exam will be held in 12th of November 2025, and actually application period will be started from 23 of July till 20 of August 2025. And the exam, as I mentioned, in 12th of November, and the result will be appeared after 4 weeks after the exam. Of course, no entry requirement for this certificate, eligibility requirement, no entry requirement. And of course, the curriculum, I will announce about it and the resources and so on. And you can get a lot of the examples, the same difficulty like the exam from these sample questions. And just click on this interactive sample test, and I will give a hint about this. And of course, another very important hint related to this exam, the fees for the exam. This will be about 875 UK pound. This is very important, and this will be sent at the time of the application. And at the end of the exam, after the results, you will get certificate like this. Another endocrinology and diabetes certificate is European Board Examination, Endocrinology and Diabetes and Metabolism. And actually, the source is the same like SCE, Endocrinology and Diabetes, and the official website is European Society of Endocrinology, ESE. And we can go to this official website by this link. This is the official website, and actually the exam will be held in December 2025. Up till now, they did not mention the exact time, but it is usually in the second week of December 2024. And how to apply for this certificate? Actually, before the exam by 3 or 4 months, they will activate this link. And you can click on registration, and you can go through applying for this certificate. And actually, the curriculum is the same as the SCE, the exam. And don't forget that this is for European board. It is a 2-3 hour single best answer paper, best of 5. And the exam, since 2 years, delivered through computer-based format via remote invigilation. Don't forget that European board is held via remote invigilation. It is done through your home, but they should have some of equipment like webcam. The mic should be open, the cam should be open during the exam, and so on. This exam done via remote invigilation, but the SC exam is done physically in qualified centers. And it is very important to know that the ESC will give examination grants to cover 50% reduction of the exam fees. So the exam is 750 euro. This examination grants will reduce this fees by 50%. But there is some requirement for this grant. The doctor should be from low socioeconomic countries and should be a membership in ESE. So if you prepare for the European board, please, and you from the low socioeconomic country like Egypt, Libya, Sudan, Syria, and so on, you should be applied to be a membership for European Society of Endocrinology, and check this official website, and they will mention that the grant will be open at least 4 months before the exam. This is a very important for application for the ESC examination grant, which will be open actually at mostly from July or August. Is my voice clear, Dr. Tamer? Is my voice clear?
Yes, doctor, clear.
Okay. So this is the official website for EBEEDM. And actually, after the results, you will get the certificate like this. And this actually is the fees for SCE and European board, as I mentioned, but don't forget that the ESC will give examination grant 50% reduction from the fees if you have this grant. And actually, the grant in the previous year closed on 9th of August 2024. And actually, in the 2025, usually the same days, actually maybe one or a few days up or down. Examination format, as I mentioned, this is a 200 question in 2 papers. Each paper contains 100 questions, should be done within 3 hours. For SCE, you will have the first paper, then a break for 1 hour, then another paper in 3 hours. And the same for European board. And actually, the most important source is Oxford Handbook of Endocrinology and Diabetes, the 4th edition. This is the main source. If you want only one source, one book, this is the only book that you need to pass the exam. And actually, the exam consists of a lot of questions. The first one is diabetes mellitus question, and it will be about 34% of the final exam. From the 200 question, a question related to diabetes mellitus will be 68. So it is the main bulk to pass the exam. Diabetes mellitus is the most important part in the exam, followed by thyroid, in which thyroid will be covered by 36 questions, so which represent 18%. Then the hypothalamus and pituitary, 20 question, the adrenal, 20 question, the gonads, 20 question, the parathyroid and calcium, 16 question, and others, for example, obesity, lipids, and so on, will be 20 questions. So at the end, you will have 200 questions distributed according to this percentage. So it is very important to know that diabetes and the thyroid is the main bulk, which represent about 50% of the final exam. الhypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal gonads, all of them 20%, 20 question or 10% of the final exam. So don't forget that during revision, during studying of preparation for the exam, you should know this data well. So you need to focus on diabetes and thyroid very well to pass the exam. Let's go to what you need to pass the exam from the first attempt. As I mentioned, the cornerstone is Oxford Handbook of Endocrinology and Diabetes, the 4th edition. And actually, each point of this book can be a question. For example, if you look for non-thyroidal illness, sick euthyroid syndrome, in the previous exam, they ask a question about relate to the laboratory diagnosis for non-thyroidal illness. Give a case scenario and the patient critically ill and T4 is low, T3 is low with normal TSH, and ask about the most appropriate next step for the management. Actually, this, if you diagnose it non-thyroidal illness, of course, the treatment is the management of the underlying cause. The patient will be recovered. Thyroid function test will be normalized after removal of the current illness. So don't forget that, and this actually is a very important for everyone. You need to have a hard copy of the Oxford Handbook. And actually, during my course, I will announce about the most important items related to the previous exam. And please, inside your book, write a hint about this is a previous exam, this point is very important, and so on. So, inshallah, in my course, I will announce about the previous exam questions and the most important hint. Please write them in your hard copy of the Oxford Handbook. For example, the genetics of type 1 diabetes is very, very important and very repeated. So you need to write beside here in this board. Right here, this is a previous question because they ask about if the father is type 1 diabetes mellitus, what is the risk of inheritance for type 1? And also they ask another question related to the mother is type 1 diabetes and ask about the inheritance of the type 1 for the offspring. And they ask another question, if we have a twins and one of them is type 1, what is the risk of monozygotic other twins to inherit this type 1 diabetes? And another question, they ask if the father is type 1 and the mother is type 1, what is the risk of inheritance, and so on. So this is very important notes to write in your own book. This is a very important for everyone to pass the exam and to study well endocrine. And the next step after Oxford Handbook is solving a lot of equations. Equation solving is the cornerstone to the pass exam. The exam is not easy. It is very difficult, actually. So you need to prepare yourself from today to solve thousands of equations. And actually, the sources of the question, I will announce for it. One of the most important sources is a tool book based of 5 MCQs for endocrinology and diabetes, this book. And actually, a tool book contains about 319 questions in the 2nd edition, which is a very important. And actually, not very important to solve the question, but to solve the question and read the explanation, because the explanation contains a lot of data that may be another question in the exam. So a tool book, 2nd edition, is mandatory, one of the most important sources to study it well before the exam. Another very important source is Study BRN official website. And actually, if you go to this official website, this is the Study BRN, and you can go to, this is requires subscription. And actually, this is for the specialty certificate, and I will go to the endocrinology and diabetes to know about it. This is the Study BRN. And actually, this is the fees for Study BRN before the exam. If you have extra money, you can subscribe for this very important website. If you require 3 months subscription, it will be 99 UK pounds actually. but for 1 year it will be around 189. And actually, this official website contain a lot of question about 829, but actually I will provide a PDF for most of this question, updated one, 2024 edition for the study BRN, which I collect and prepare it for myself, but I will give you it. If you have extra money, you can join study BRN for updated question. And actual updated question is just a few questions, not more than 10 questions every year. They will update it. This is the official website and how to go to this official website. So study BRN is another source, a question bank. You need to solve most of this question before going to the exam. Another one is British Medical Journal on examination, which also another important source. But actually, if you want one source, study BRN or an examination, I will suggest study BRN. So on examination is less than study BRN in the quality of the exam, and you can go to through it by choosing exams and this link, this one. And they will give you a lot of data, and actually the fees for subscription is the same as study BRN for a specific period. If for 1 month this, or for 3 months the same, or for 1 year if you have sufficient money to join for this official website. Another very important source is exam labs. Exam labs, it is 200 questions. Each year, at least 30 questions from the exam lab will be presented the same in the final exam. So if you need one source to solve before the exam, please let it exam lab. Exam lab is very, very, very important and essential source before going to the exam. In the previous SCE exam, about 36 questions from the exam lab. Exam lab is just not updated. It is since about 8 years ago, I collect all the question from the website, and actually this official website is removed nowadays. And no updates for the exam lab. It is the same source. And actually for my, I bought the PDF file for the exam lab for everyone. And actually I will send this material for subscriber in my course. Another very important source to know the difficulty of exam is MRCB and European Board official website sample question. This is the official website actually, and you can go to this exam. They may ask about write your email. For example, if I write my email like this, and I will go to the start, they ask about this cabbage, this is one. And they ask about the bridge, this is one, this is one, and this is one. And then go to the start. This is the official website, and actually I collect all this question in the PDF file. This the question like this, and actually this question is also a very important source. It about 70 questions. I collect it, and I will solve most of this question in my course. And another very important item before to pass your exam from the first attempt is the previous exam record. Actually, I collect all the previous exam from 2016 till 2024 exam, and I already solved this question, and it available as a PDF file and PowerPoint presentation and YouTube videos for subscribers. And actually, this is a very, very important source before going to the exam, and I will give a hint about this in today's session, inshallah. The last step is reading the summary of the most important guideline. And actually for subspecialty examination, a NICE guideline is very important. GBDS guideline is very, very important. And for European board, this guideline is important. Plus, Society, European Thyroid Association, Society for Biology, and the British Thyroid Association, and American guideline. And actually, you need to don't lose your time in this. A lot of guidelines. I will give a summary for this guideline during the course, and actually I have a lot of sessions related to the summarizing this guideline for everyone. So it is important if you have a time. But if you don't have a time, please focus on the Oxford Handbook, a tool book, exam lab, official website, study BRN, and previous exam record. And of course, the notes you will have. In my course, and actually this is a unique for this year, I prepare a notes and a lot of collections for the current course subscribe. Actually, I will give these notes at the end of each module. So after diabetes mellitus, you will get a diabetes mellitus notes like this. This is a summary, the most important information related for the exam. I will summarize each session in a few pages like this, and you can get it and revise it just for the exam. And actually, I will highlight the most important items for the previous exam. Another collection for my subscriber will be recall in brief. Recall in brief is just items related to the previous exam. Each item of this recall in brief is a question in the previous exam. Another important notes I will do for the current course subscriber is illustrations. And actually, I will collect the all images and illustration required for the exam. For example, this benign choroidal nevus is a repeated question. This is necrobiosis lipidica diabetica is a very repeated image in the previous exam. And I will give a hint related to this image, which is very important for the exam. Another very important collection for the exam is my best of 5 collection. Actually, I collect the most important question from the official website, exam lab, study BRN, on examination, a tool book, and essay. And put this question in the PDF file. For example, diabetes mellitus, I already collect about 250 questions related to the diabetes and diabetes diagnosis and management complication in a one PDF file. So you need to just cover this question, which I select it, and do a lot of comments about the answering for this collection like this, which is very, very important. And I will order this question related to the importance to the final exam. And beside each one, I will put this logo like this, which is this question from the study BRN, this question from the exam lab, this question from the official website, and so on. And another very important source I will provide for the current course subscriber is El Zohri MRCB question bank. And actually, this is a program. This is the program. Actually, this is a Windows application, should be run on the Windows platform, which contain about 5,800 questions related to the endocrinology. For example, you can select, for example, an official website question from this item, and then I will go to the thyroid question or diabetes mellitus question like this. So, an official website, European board, contain 12 questions related to the diabetes mellitus, and you can categorize it, difficulty and the ranking and so on, and you can answer and examine yourself and so on. This is a very important program which contain a lot of questions, and you can choose, for example, I will choose only the difficult question, hard question to solve from the, for example, all sources like this. and actually difficulty of each question, I will change it according to my level in this tool. And actually, I will give a lot of hints about this program, but I will give it later on, inshallah. So it is very important to know that the most important source is Oxford Handbook. In Oxford Handbook is mandatory. This is a very important source. In Oxford Handbook, followed by in the exam lab, official website, a tool book, study BRN. If you have a time on examination, practical diabetes, and guideline. And of course, the previous exam recall is mandatory. So from today, you need to study apart from the Oxford Handbook, solve some question from the tool book, study BRN, exam lab, official website, examination. And if you see a topic and this topic have a specific guideline from the NICE or other society, you require to review this guideline. And of course, at each time, I will announce about if this question is presented in the previous exams or not, to focus on it and to write your own notes in the Oxford Handbook. This is all what you need to study for subspecialty examination and European board. If you want to pass easily, please start from today studying and solving of the question. If anyone require any question or comments about this introduction, it is a welcome before starting diabetes module, the first session.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh.
Very much for kind duration of the exam. Can you tell us how to subscribe the course?
If you scan this QR code in my screen, it will join to the WhatsApp group and my contact number. This is just a QR code, so scan this QR code and you will contact me, or from this phone number, WhatsApp group, WhatsApp phone number, this one.
I remember, but I don't know how to try to you the issues that. So let me know about that. Like I'm currently working in Pakistan.
Yes, we already have some members subscribed in this course from the Pakistan. So please contact me through the WhatsApp group number, and I will answer your question. And if anyone require any question, please let me know through WhatsApp or WhatsApp number.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, you are welcome. Actually, I would give a hint about my notes. This is my notes, for example. This is my notes for diabetes mellitus. This is one. This is one, for example. This is my collection writing notes, and actually every day I update it and give hints about it, which is a very, very important, because each point from this notes is a previous question. This is a part one from my notes, actually, and I will go to the next part, which contain this one, recall in brief. And the recall in brief actually is each point is a question in the previous exams. Each point from this in brief is a question in the previous exam, and I will announce about which year represented in the beside each one. And another one is my illustration, which contain all images related to the exam, like this actually, which is, and give a lot of the hints and announce about this. For example, this X-ray is very important for the exam. And also I will have another very important one. This is one. The best of 5 collection. This is my collection, the most important sources for the exam, and I collect it from actually, as I mentioned, the study BRN, exam lab, and actually I collect this question from a lot of sources and give a comment and hence and illustration related to it, which is the most important question for everyone.